Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Josie and I am so happy that you are here. Today we are going to talk about my September TBR picks, which I use using my prompt jar. But before we get into that, I want to talk about what I'm reading and also last month's TBR picks, which I'm just going to warn you right now, didn't get to many of them. Let's get into it. I have two books that I am currently in the middle of, but I say in the middle of loosely because I am just starting both of them. I'm kind of in a reading slump. I haven't really gotten too far. I Hope This Finds You Well by Natalie is an office comedy. This was chosen for my book club. We ended up pushing book club to October and canceling this book. I'm still going to read it. I still want to get to it. I'm making a reading vlog with this book, so check that out in a couple weeks. The second book that I am starting is The Fallen and the Kiss of Dusk by Carissa Broadbent, and this is the second book of the second duology in the Crowns of Nyaxia series. This is Misha's story. I loved the first one. It was the world was kind of confusing in the place called The Descent. Sometimes I got a little lost with them getting lost. I am excited to pick this up. It's the perfect time to read a romantasy, fantasy, however you want to categorize this, but these are the two books that I am currently in the middle of. As far as my TBR picks from last August, I did not get to any of them, actually. So we have Evenings and Weekends by Oisin McKenna, Point Zero by Saiku Matsumoto. This is a translated thriller. Honestly, I might push to October. I feel like that'd be really good to read. And then we have, sorry, I'm like juggling these books. Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldree. That will also get pushed into the fall. I have no doubt I'll be reading that in the next couple months. Savor It by Tara DeWitt. I wanted to read this during the warmer months, and her second book in this interconnected standalone series is Left of Forever. I wanted to read this before I got to that, but I've heard really good things about the other one. And then my last one, I wanted to try to read classics, modern classics, at least once a month. Clearly didn't get to it, but The Remains of the Day by Kazu Ishiguro. I think this is one that I'm going to try to either get on September or October TBR. Honestly, this could also be a good winter book. It's fine, but I'm going to put these back on before I pick my new TBR. To kick off my September TBR, I do have a few that I want to read that are not going to be picked from the prompt jar. I'm not sure if you have been as chronically online as I have, but I'm in a little corner of the internet where people are sharing their personal curriculum, and it's where they take their niche topics that they want to learn about, whether it's history or art or literature, or they want to relearn math, or if they want to learn a new language, anything. They are kind of setting a curriculum for themselves either by semester or by month, and I love hearing people talk about it, but it also inspired me to actually get to my nonfiction books that I have. Just really focus on some areas that I just want to learn more about. I chose for September to read and dive into Braiding Sweetgrass by Robin Wall Kimmerer, but this is Indigenous Wisdom, Scientific Knowledge, and the Teachings of Plants. When I was doing research of what I was interested in learning, what I have already on hand that I can pick up, Braiding Sweetgrass was at the very top. People have spoken very highly about it, and I am really excited to dig into this in September. All right, final thing before getting into the prompts. This shelf is my 25 of 2025. These are my priority reads, and most of them are intimidating, not because of their size, but maybe because of their content, maybe because of the hype around them online, maybe because, and I'm saying maybe, but these are all very valid reasons. I've just had them on my shelves for so long. I'm like nervous to pick them up for some reason. In September, I want to get to at least 2 or 3 of these, but that's also going to be in a separate video, and I'm going to pick prompts for those separately. For the most part, I'm going to stay away from this shelf when picking my September TBR, just because I know that I'm going to be reading them for a different video. Finally, let's get into it. I have my prompts in this mushroom. I am going to pick 5. When I first started this, I picked like 7 or 8 because picking prompts from here and just like looking through my shelves is almost addicting. I don't know what it is about it. It's just the best feeling ever. But I'm going to stick to 5 because I do have the 2 other books on my physical TBR, and then also my 25 of 2025 video. For the first pick, we have a book with a yellow cover. I am going to try to stay more fall-ish vibes if I can. I don't have any on my bottom shelf that is yellow. We do have Fredrick Backman. This is an option. Bright Young Woman would be a good one, but we're going to avoid this shelf. Oh, we also have Elena Knows by Claudia Pinheiro. This is a translated fiction, and this is more lit fic. So I'm trying to figure out which vibe I'm feeling. Anxious People is a group of 8 strangers, and they're held hostage, and it goes through their grievances, hurts, secrets, passions, just in this one hostage situation. I believe it just spans one day, which is interesting. And then Elena Knows, I believe it's about a mother who goes looking for her lost daughter. Nope, that's not it. About a mother, I was right on that. She finds her daughter's body, and then she does this single day trek to help her redefine her relationship with her daughter. Very interesting that both of these books are over a single day. I think I'm going to go with Anxious People because it has been on my TBR forever. That is my first pick. My second pick, or my second prompt, is a horror book. That's perfect. Going back to my curriculum, I think in October I want it to be about the Salem witch trials. So it could be interesting to read The Year of the Witching by Alexis Henderson. It just says, a young woman living in a rigid, puritanical society discovers dark powers within herself in this stunning feminist fantasy debut. But it does say fantasy, so technically not horror. Good for October. Natural Beauty has been on my TBR for a while. This follows a woman who starts work at a store known for its products and procedures, and things get weird. It really talks about like the beauty standards, the mindset around the beauty standards, which could be interesting. The other one that I have is Thirst, which is a vampire one. I don't think I want to read vampire in September, so we are going to go with Natural Beauty by Ling Huang. I haven't really reached for a horror book. Actually, now that I think about it, I don't think I've ever read a horror book. This will be good to add to my list. Third prompt, a lighthearted read. So more than likely this is going to be a romance. I don't necessarily want to do a cozy fantasy. Nothing on this top shelf. Technically this should go down here. I could read, you know what? Let's just do Legends and Lattes. This was on last TBR. I've had this on my seasonal reads for 2 seasons now, and I think it's time to just do it, as Nike says. Okay, cool. That was easy. This is my 4th prompt, and that is Free Choice, which is absolutely fantastic, but also scary. What am I feeling? Don't really want to add a lit fic. This could be my romance pick. Because this is my video and I can make the rules, I am going to set this aside and then pick my 5th prompt and come back to this, because my 5th prompt might help me narrow down what I want to read for my free choice. See, a book for my favorite genre, and that is usually romance or fantasy. I have series that I'm in, so I don't really want to start a fantasy series. I think I'm gonna go with a romance book. First Time Caller by B.K. Borison has been calling to me, no pun intended. I'm going to dig that up out of there off camera, but that is going to be technically my 5th prompt pick. For my free choice, I think I'm going to go with thriller. You can't see it, so I'm going to bring up a few options and go from there. I have 2 options for free choice. I have Julie Clark's The Ghostwriter and Karin Slaughter's Pretty Girls. Something happens, 2 women come back, 2 like former best friends come back, and it kind of goes from there. And then The Ghostwriter, I actually don't really know much about this one. It takes place June 1975. The Taylor family shatters in a single night when 2 teenage siblings are found dead in their own home. The only surviving sibling, Vincent, never shakes the whispers and accusations that he was the one who killed them. Decades later, the legend only grows as his career as a horror writer skyrockets. And then ghostwriter Olivia Dumont has spent her entire professional life hiding the fact that she is the only child of Vincent Taylor. Now, on the brink of financial ruin, she offers a job to ghostwrite her father's last book. What she doesn't know, though, is that this project is another one of his lies, because it's not another horror novel he wants her to write. This sounds fascinating, but because I just got this, I am going to add Pretty Girls to my TBR. I want to read this as soon as possible, and I say that with this sitting on my shelf for about a year. With that, we have the 5 books that were picked from my TBR prompt jar. I think I have a really good selection of genres. Most of these books, if not all of these books, are what I would consider honorable mentions to my 25 of 2025. These have all been highly anticipated by myself and recommended by people that I follow online on BookTok or BookTube. I just think it's going to be a really good reading month if I can get to these. I have these 5 picks. Braiding Sweetgrass for my curriculum read, and then Enchanted Greenhouse, which I am going to Barnes later today to go pick up. But that'll be my 7 reads, plus whatever I pick from this shelf here. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, or if there are any books that you think I should pick up first, please leave a comment and let me know. If there are any books that I don't have listed that you have on your September TBR, please also let me know. I love recommendations and love adding books to my TBR. As you can see, this was really fun and I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next time. Bye!